Okay, so this is using a program called Solidworks to create a three-dimensional box that you're going to be able to 3D print. So here's a little circular box I've created with a lid. Now I'm just going to take you through how you can create a box very similar to this. The first thing you're going to need to do is find the Solidworks software. So go to where all your applications are, scroll down to Solidworks, and it's Solidworks 2017 that you want to open. Once you've got it open, you need to create a new part. Okay, so Solidworks works off starting to draw sketches on planes, and then you turn them into 3D features. So these are my main planes I can choose from: front plane, top plane, right plane. We're actually going to start drawing on the top plane. So you pick a plane, start a sketch. These are my sketch tools here. And in this case, we're going to choose a circle for a start. Attach it to the middle, just so it knows where it is in space. And you want to make it with a radius of about 25-26 millimeters. Tick. So I've done my sketch. Now I turn it into a 3D feature by extruding. And I can click up the right amount that I want, or I can type in. So maybe I want it 35 millimeters tall. And tick that. Try hitting the F key, F for fit, and it makes it fit to the screen. Z zooms it out, and Shift Z zooms it in. So here's my beginning of my box shape. Now what I want to do is cut it in half to make a top half, a lid, and a bottom half. So now I'm going to choose the front plane to sketch on, which is right in the middle. If I press down the wheel of my mouse, I can spin it round, so I'm looking straight on at it. So I've picked my plane, I go to my sketch tools, and I'm going to draw a cut line, and I want it going right the way across. Whoops, select the sketch tool. Select the line sketch tool, and I'm going to draw a line going horizontal. I can tell it's horizontal because it gives me a little symbol and tells me it's 180. Now I need to make sure the line is hanging out each edge. Now I turn it into a 3D feature, which in this case I want to cut the object in half. Down in my properties here, I want to choose through or both. Through or both. Tick, and it's cut off the top. So now I'm going to save that as the bottom half of my box. Circle, bottom. Save. Okay, now I'm going to edit that cut I made. If I right click on Cut Extrude, it lets me edit that feature. And I'm going to select Flip Side to Cut. And that means it's going to cut off the other half. So now I've got the lid left. File, Save As, Circle, Lid. Okay, and I'm going to just reopen the circle bottom that I made as well. So that's the one I made before. Now for this to be a box, I need to hollow it out. So I'm going to choose the top surface, and under Features, I'm going to choose Shell. And I think about 2 millimeters thickness is a good idea. So just tick that, okay, and it's hollowed out my box. Save that again. Now I want to make the lid to match. So I'm going to Window and I want to look at my circle lid. Now I want to put something underneath so it clicks onto the box. So if I pivot it over and choose the bottom surface, I can make a little insert. So I'm going to choose Sketch, turn on my sketch tools, and I want to use this one, Offset Entities. And I want to put 2.5 millimeters because I want to make a circle a little bit smaller than the shell of my box. And I want to hit reverse so that the circle goes inside. Now I go to Features and Extrude, and I'm going to go down about 4. Tick. Okay, so that's now my lid with a little insert so it sits inside the box really nicely. I'm pressing F to make it fit to the screen. Now I want to put something interesting on top. So I can select the top surface and use sketch tools to create something. Just make sure that the sketch lines don't cross over. So I could draw a hexagon, I could draw just a spot on it, I could make a little handle that pulls off. Or I made a flower before, and I did that by choosing the circle tool, tick, and then I used the ellipse tool to make a petal, maybe to about there. That's totally not what I want, so I can use the selector tool to just, there we go, that's looking a bit better. Now I want that repeated, so the easiest way is to pattern that around. So select just the ellipse, and under the sketch pattern, change it to circular. And you might find you need to choose that point or the circle edge to go around. And I can change how many petals I want. I usually like an odd number. Okay, so it's really important that the sketch has single lines and none of the lines crisscross over. Otherwise it won't extrude properly. So now I can go to Features, and I could either engrave it in a bit, might look quite nice, but like a cookie cutter, but I'm going to emboss it a bit. Just make it stick out. Okay, so that is my lid, and I've got the other bit to match. So basically, I now have 2 parts that should fit together nicely like that. And there needs to be a little gap in between so it can go in and out and not get stuck. Now my next job is to save each of those files so that they're able to be 3D printed. So I should have saved them as Solidworks parts, but I also need to save them as STL files. So go Save As. And this one here, STL, this is the type of file that a 3D printer can print. So I can save that. Definitely all bodies. And then I also need to save my bottom bit as an STL. Then I will be ready for printing.